guys, it's Lynn here. I hope you're having an amazing day. Now guys, today I am harvesting the seed from my Epiphyllum ackermannii cactus plant. And look at that lovely big juicy fruit pod, guys. And this Epiphyllum is one that I pollinated last year in the summer 2017. And it formed a lovely big fruit. And you always know when it's ready to pick a Epiphyllum fruit when it goes nice and soft, when it goes usually a lovely deep red colour like this, and it feels soft, and also it has a bit of a smell of lovely fruit to it. As in this case, it smells just like a big juicy strawberry. It's gorgeous. Now, I've made a few different videos on how to harvest cactus seed because each cactus plant has many different types of seed and produces different types of fruit, all different ways of harvesting. For example, an Apuntia fruit pod would be very different to an Epiphyllum one. And links up above to a playlist of all the different types of cacti seeds I have harvested, and it might help you if you have different types of cacti and you want to grow from seed from your own plant. Also a bit about how to pollinate your cactus flowers to get seed as well. And this is just going to show you how to harvest Epiphyllum. Now, I've done a couple of Epiphyllum ones before, harvesting videos. The most recent one was the one, I think it was Epiphyllum Chichi Castanenengo and Chichi Mrs. G Boheme. And I think that's on the playlist as well. But this one is going to be the ackermannii. But with all Epiphyllum fruit, it's pretty much the same. You know when it's ready to harvest, when it feels soft like that. And it pulls away very easy off the plant, and it can take up to a year before it's ready to harvest. So if you do have luck pollinating the flowers and they produce fruit, be very patient because it can take up to a year, as in this case it was a year. And now what I recommend doing is labelling a little bag to put the seeds. If you're going to sow the seeds straight away, there's no need to do that. But as in this case, I'm going to be storing the seeds for a while until I'm ready to sow them. And I've labelled it Epiphyllum ackermannii, seeds harvested May 2018. So I know that's when I've harvested it. And I recommend either a little paper envelope or a little bag, or a little plastic baggie like this, just to store them, and store the seed in a cool and dry place. And what I'm going to do now for harvesting the seed, these are actually quite easy to harvest in the sense they're nice and easy to break apart and get the flesh out. And what I recommend doing is using a few layers of tissue paper, or in this case more like kitchen paper, kitchen roll that's quite strong. And that's because when you open up the seed pod, the fruit pod, you're going to spread it out and let the fruit and the seed separate. And when the pulp has dried, the seed comes away easy off the paper towel. And I'm just going to show you how to do this if you haven't done this before. Now, as I say, this is a little bit overripe, as you can see there. It's going a little bit bad, but it won't affect the seeds. It doesn't matter, the seeds are pretty much good. And all you have to do is literally just, where it's soft, dig a nail in. In this case, I haven't really got much nails, but dig a nail in. We could use a little clear knife just to cut into it and then pull it apart. Look at that, guys. It's very similar to dragon fruit because obviously they're sort of related, Epiphyllum. Oh gosh, it smells absolutely gorgeous. Like a cross between a juicy blackberry and a juicy strawberry. My God, wow. Very much like dragon fruit. And as I say, harvesting dragon fruit is very similar. This is just on a smaller scale. And all you want to do is literally pull all the flesh apart like that. Absolutely gorgeous, gorgeous smell. And as I say, all cactus fruit is edible. But in this case, I wouldn't recommend eating the fruit. Obviously, if you want to sow the seed, or there's plenty of seed in here. But if you use insecticide on your plants, then I wouldn't recommend eating the fruit because obviously you're going to be ingesting that also, especially with a lot of the systemics. Now, and then what you want to do then is obviously make sure you get all the seeds off the skin. Now I just wipe the skin across there to make sure there's all seeds. Oh, the smell is gorgeous, guys. It really smells so nice. And that then, there's a little bit of seed again. Scraping as much as you can off. like that. That will dry anyway. Now what you want to do then, the paper towel is great at absorbing all of the excess pulp, is you just gently squeeze it like that, press your little pressure on across the paper towel with your fingers, spreading all the pulp across. And then what we're going to be doing then is allowing the pulp to dry on the paper towel, probably for a good few hours, possibly the next day. This is sort of evening time here. So I'm going to be the next day, this should all be dry, and then I'll be able to just gently loosen it away from the pulp and it should come away. That's going to be very easy. So I recommend, now if you want to speed it up, you can put it sort of in the sun, if it happens to be sunny where you are, and that will help dry up the pulp from the seed a bit quicker, especially with a paper towel. But in this case, it's raining today here. So this is going to dry out in the heat of the house. And so tomorrow morning, I'm going to loosen up the seeds. You want to try and separate as many of the seeds as you can from the pulp, because it's going to be a lot easier then. Just sort of spreading all the seeds away there. Look at that, there's loads of seeds in this. Oh, it's gorgeous, isn't it? Going to have lots of fun sowing. And it's always the best time to sow seeds in spring and sort of early summer, or even late winter. As long as spring is only around the corner. Reason being, the days are longer and the weather usually gets a bit warmer then. But if you've got grow lights, or you've got special grow boxes or anything like some of these people who professionally grow seeds have, then you can sort of sow them at any time of year, because you can sort of have control of the heating and the lighting. But if not, if you're growing them on a windowsill, then spring and summer is always best. That's what I want to do. So I'm going to leave this now, try and separate as much pulp there, and I'm going to leave this, and then tomorrow morning, or wherever you're doing this a few hours time, then it should all be dry, and then it's just a case of just loosening up the seed from the pulp, and then soaking the seed in a bit of clean water and then draining it out again. The reason being, if you leave any sort of residue of fruit at all on the seed, it can go into a fungus, especially if you're storing the seed for a later date. So as I found out from my own experience in the past with cactus seeds, especially big type of fruity seeds like this, if you don't really thoroughly wash the seed after, you can get a bit of fungus on. So I'm going to show you how to do this. That then after this has dried and I've separated the seed from the pulp, and I'm going to leave this now for a few hours, possibly overnight, until it's ready to pull away. And I'm going to carry on then. So as I say, you just leave it till it's all dried, and I'll carry on then in a bit. Now guys, it's the following day and they've all dried out overnight, the seeds onto the paper towel, and the fruit pulp, as you can see, is now all dried, and obviously the paper towel is nice and crisp. The old fruit pod there, which I'm going to be recycling into the composter. And then all I'm going to be doing now is gently loosening up the seeds. As you see, the seeds are still stuck onto the paper towel, but they should come away pretty easy if you just gently roll your finger over them to loosen them like that. And sometimes you can gently pull them off, but you want to be careful not to put any pressure on the seeds so you don't damage the outer shell, the protective covering. But as I say, if they're dry, completely dry, it should come away fairly easy, as you can see, like that. And then what I'm going to be doing is just loosening all these seeds up, and then separating the seeds off the paper towel, and then onto the plate. So I'm just going to be loosening them up like this, and then I'm going to show you when it's ready then to put onto the plate, and then going to be soaking these seeds then in some warm water, probably for an hour or two, just to remove any of the pulp. This minimalises the chance of fungus infections. Now that's the seeds all separated off the paper towels. As you can see here, all the paper towels are now all empty of seeds, and these are just the dried up paper towels going to be thrown away. And what I'm going to be doing, because these seeds, as you can see, are a little bit sticky because of the pulp, I'm going to be then soaking these into the water. So I'm literally just going to be putting them in the water like so, and then soaking these then possibly for probably about an hour or two, just enough to remove any of the excess pulp, and then I'm going to be filtering it through a little filter, and then drying them off, and then putting them into the packets.
That's the seeds all soaking there in the water to remove the pulp. And as you can see, there's a few floating at the top. They often say that seeds that aren't viable float to the top and the ones that are float to the bottom. But if that's the case, there's plenty that are floated to the bottom, which is really good news. So then obviously after these have soaked for a good hour, I'm then going to be filtering them through and showing you how I do that. Now that's the seeds, they've all been soaking there for about an hour. And what I've done here, I've got a little clear jar, a little old olive jar, and I've got a little filter. And these little filters are great for catching seeds. And I've got some little, obviously some kitchen roll paper in there. And what I'm going to be doing then is gently pouring it through. And of course the kitchen roll will catch the seeds. So just slowly but surely doing this. And this is otherwise if I was just to try and separate the seeds from the water, it could be and this could take a bit of a while, guys. Once the paper tissue has got wet, it will come through quite quick. So and then just keep pouring. As I say, a lot of the seeds should hopefully stay mostly at the bottom, but this will catch any of the stray ones through. Now that's most of the seeds drained off onto the paper towel with the water in the bottom there. And what I'm doing is just change the water over. There's a few stray seeds that got through in the bottom. So I'm doing it again to get the few little stray ones at the top filtered out. And then I'm going to be letting these paper towels dry here so they're completely dry. And then they should be able then just to scrape off and then put into the little bag. Now guys, that's them all removed from the water, and again they're back on the paper towel again, this time without any pulp at all. And what I'm going to be doing then is letting these dry, so the paper towel is completely dry. It's should probably only take a couple of hours or so, and then once the paper towel is dry, then I can take all the seed off and then put it all into the little bag there. It'll be nice clean seed.
Now guys, that's all the seeds now that have been soaked in the water and all the pulp thoroughly removed. And back again to gently loosening the seeds from the paper towel. And they should come away a lot easier this time now there's no pulp attached. And as I say, by removing the pulp, by soaking the seeds, it minimalises the chances of fungal infection and things like that. So gently scrape it off. And then what I'm going to be doing here, I have a little funnel. So I'm going to be folding this up, loosening it up on the towel, folding the paper towel in half, and then feeding it through there and into the little baggies. And any on the plate I can also put onto as well. This means it's a lot easier when it comes to putting them into the either the paper envelopes, or in this case I'm using the little transparent baggies. And I sometimes use a little piece of folded up card to put in here, because there's so many seeds. I'm actually going to use the little funnel. And these ones are easy to get on eBay and Amazon and things like that. I use them for my aromatherapy, but they're great for using for seeds. Folding it up once you've loosened as many seeds as you can, and then literally just popping it in there, and they just fall all the way through. Just show you again, I just fold that up, and then it's great. Saves so much hassle, guys, and you always get a few of them that are going to need to be redone again. Look at that, isn't it great? Loads of seeds. So I'm just going to loosen these ones up again, and all into the bag. And it's a bit of a long process, but if you really want to make sure that you thoroughly remove all the pulp, it really does minimise the chances of fungus setting in on any of the remaining bits of pulp from the seed. As I say, I've got links up above to a playlist I've made on harvesting cactus seed, because every different type of genus of cactus is very different. Epiphyllum is very similar to like dragon fruit, in the sense they produce big fruits that are delicious and edible. But obviously it's trickier when it comes to harvesting these seeds. And as I say here, then again, the little baggie, labelled with the date I've harvested these on, and then just put them through the chute like this, or the little funnel I should say. And this is, I find, far easier, or using a little piece of folded up card and then put that through the baggies. But the funnel in this case, there's so many seeds that the funnel is going to do the job amazingly. So nearly done, guys. And I just want to thank you all for your amazing comments and your support, guys. I cannot thank you enough. It really means a lot. And all of your likes. And this is a busy, crazy busy time of year for me. So if you get asking questions and I don't always answer back, or I don't do it straight away, please understand that this time of year is crazy. But I'll get back to thanking you all as soon as I can. And there you go, guys. So that is Epiphyllum ackermannii seeds, harvested May 2018. And I'm going to be sowing these probably in the next couple of weeks or so. So, excuse the pun. So guys, thanks so much for watching. And I hope it gives you a bit of an idea should you have a lovely fruit pod on your Epiphyllum cacti, you know how to harvest the seed. And if you want to know how to grow cacti from seed, links up above also to a video on how to grow cacti from seed. I use the baggy method, and this is for all types of cacti and succulent seeds that I like to do. So guys, thanks so much for watching, and I want to send you loads of love, heaps of happiness, and tons of cactus and plant power. And also, guys, please give a big thumbs up for my fantastic fiancé behind the camera, Hansi. And please do subscribe to him, links up above. Send you loads of love and happiness as always from Ireland. Until the next video, guys. Bye.